Someone get this two out of my set now.
At TVC Communications, we're all about our audience. Millions of viewers, listeners, and readers every day all around Nigeria.
Our 2 TV stations are among the most watched in Nigeria.
TVC News is our award-winning 24-hour national and international news channel headquartered here in Lagos, broadcasting live from our custom-built headquarters.
TVC, the top-rated family entertainment channel, is the place for fun, music, and information. With our breakfast show, Wake Up Nigeria, the all-female chat show, Your View, the best soaps and dramas from Nolly, Bolly, and Hollywood, music and entertainment blast, courtesy Eastplash, and of course, award-winning news and current affairs.
Thanks for staying with us. We're still discussing with Dr. Hafsat Abiola Costello. Yes, you're going to have answer the other question.
Yes, so you also asked about the 20 billion money that was received and the EFCC investigation. I'd invite you to check with the EFCC directly, and you'll find that they've closed this investigation because the state paid the money as was agreed with the World Bank. It was mainly for salaries, and to all the people that the monies were paid to, the account numbers, the names, all of it was properly documented. I think Mike Okezie, who is Director of Research on the Campaign Council, came and he answered all these questions. So I really invite that if you do not take our word, invite the objective participants and let them tell you.
Okay, Nima, let me let you
So just before the governor of Kogi State declared for his presidential ambition, the PDP had come out to say yes, he was going to declare, and then they said that the state was had lean resources and was very indebted. So how truly indebted? What are the debt indices of the state? Because we know, yes, Nigeria is a very loan, deficit. We're always borrowing to make up deficit, and we know state governors also owe. Also, this rumor, because in every rumor there's an element of truth. This rumor, continuous rumor of Kogi states being highly indebted, owing salaries, and having lean resources, and is the presidential ambition of the governor very well funded, personally, from his personal funds? So how is it funded?
First, the governor is an accountant, and he actually is already one of the Gulf states in Nigeria, one of the few states in Nigeria that the World Bank has certified is transparent in its management of its finances. I don't know that I don't know any other state that has the ranking that the World Bank has given His Excellency. So we can safely say that if these kinds of international agencies have evaluated him, evaluated the work of the state in the management of resources, and not found it to be lacking, there's a lot of, it means that there's really no credibility to the idea that he's mismanaging the state. Now, this is also someone that doesn't like to take loans. He has been carefully managing the resources of the state. He has built the IGR of the state. When he came on board, it was 350. He found that the IGR was 350 million. He has built it to almost 2 billion before the pandemic hit. And if you even see his intention, his own intention is to build the capacity of the state to grow wealth. So when I was visiting the state, one of the things I saw, one of his achievements that his team wanted me to note was the Internal Revenue Service building, which when they came on board was one apartment with 2 rooms. But now it's a massive edifice. This is someone that believes in the state's ability to generate its own economy and then tax the wealth that is thereby generated. Is not keen to take loans unduly.
All right, let me come. I mean, you said quite a bit about Yahaya Bello.
Yes.
But I think, how do you respond to people who say that Nigeria has a moral obligation
Yes.
to ensure presidency goes to the southeast. And there's something called the religious and ethnical equity that we must demonstrate as a nation. Because we've had a Muslim, and we'd say we want a Christian, or we want someone from the southeast, because that's how we can have an equitable government where everybody feels like they're part of this system. How do you respond to that? Because many people feel that Yahaya Bello, first of all, shouldn't be there, not because he's not qualified, as you have said, but if you think about moral obligation at this point, he's the least qualified for Nigerians. I mean, least appropriate, that's the right word, not qualified at the time because of what I talked about earlier.
Zoning.
Because of the zoning issue.
Morayo, you know, I'm sorry to be personal, but I still remember your mom of blessed memory when she walked with my mom in the demonstrations for June 12th. I don't know if your mom ever told you the story. She said my mom would say to her, Amalo, we're going to do this march. And your mother will be wondering that, what madness, how can we do this march? And that won't they get shot? And she would be so nervous. And she would get into that demonstration because she and my mom would be in the lead. And she would just keep saying to herself, Kudi said we will do it, that nothing will happen. Did she ever tell you this? She told me this. Kudi said we should do it, nothing will happen. The truth is that the people that are truly marginalized in Nigeria are the women and the young people. And if there's any moral obligation, it is to them that it is owed, and in the most egregious manner. We've seen much older people come into office from that demonstration, not just that particular march that your mom was describing to me, but the many marches. Who led the fight against June 12th? The fight against the annulment? Was it not the students? Yes. Was it not the young people? How many of them were shot? How many? How many? I still remember one young man that became crippled. He was at OAU, and he became crippled on account of this fight. Where were they after the whole, in 1999, where were they placed? Can we say nowhere? Can we say nowhere? And I challenge anyone. Now, you were talking, as I was waiting to come up, you were talking about the kidnappings, the bribe, the crime. When I look at all these events, it's clear to me that this is a revolt of young people in Nigeria. They've had enough. And many of them are revolting in ways that we don't understand and that we don't condone nor endorse. But they revolt nonetheless because they've had enough of being marginalized in their own country. If the country will not use them for good, they will use themselves for bad. And there's no candidate better positioned to harness and to signal to young people in Nigeria than my candidate, that Nigeria is for them, that they are the ones that should be in charge. And even from everything we know in pre-colonial Africa, it's the young people that we ask them to lead, the elders counsel. And we're ready to lead. Young people and women in Nigeria are ready. We're taking no more excuses. We don't want any more excuses.
But the major problem Nigerians have is, politicians coming into government, vying for offices and using Nigerians' wealth to aspire for office. Where exactly would the funding for the presidential campaign and ambition of the governor of Kogi State come from?
The challenge that Governor Yahaya Bello has is one and one alone, and that is to get the primary ticket. When he has done that, the young people of Nigeria, there will be the movement that they will lift up on behalf of this candidate will be unprecedented in the history of this country. I am fully confident that the young people alone will carry this man to Aso Rock come 2023.
Are you saying that they will donate? Everyone. Are you saying that the Nigerians would fund it? How?
They will fund it with the 100 million first. The 100 million is the governor himself is a businessman before he even became governor. He has the money. And even he has people around him who believe in him. One of the things that you will really appreciate, and I look forward to you experiencing when you get to know this candidate, the basis of my own confidence in him is that he's not just by himself. The quality of his team. I've been spending a lot of time with them. I don't know if you noticed that my voice is a little hoarse because there was also Ramadan, but also We've been up to 3 a.m. in meetings, working with the candidate, discussing with the candidates. He's never by himself. He has a team of highly professional, qualified, in their 40s people, some in their 30s. And the quality of those people, Mariah, is incredible. But not just their quality, the energy they have. They're centered, they're anchored, they're not saying stupid things. They're very practical. But all of them are successful in their own right. You have people in real estate, you have people in all kinds of domains of our society. Are you telling me that between them they won't put together the money for this candidate? Even when he was governor, before he showed this kind of promise, and when he was going to become governor, keep in mind that his ethnic group that he is from in that state is a minority group. People mobilized money for him then. Will they not do it now when he has even a better claim?
Okay, talking about practicality and being realistic, people would say the party on which he's running, the caliber of people in that same party running for, vying for the same ticket. Are you being realistic and practical if you think he's going to take that ticket, given the other people in the same party?
When destiny aligns, nothing will stop our candidates. 30 years after the incredible and tragic events of June 12th, we have a candidate who has stepped forward and said that on Hope 1993 will build the foundation of his campaign, that this hope that was truncated, it will restore, who has shown that he's a unifier, who has shown that he's an effective manager of resources, who has shown that he's very keen to work on security, not because he's, like you and me, deeply concerned, but no, because he has already done it in Kogi State. And I can tell you how he has done it in Kogi State. They get this thing called security vote, and I don't know where it all goes all over Nigeria. Let me tell you where it goes in Kogi State. It goes to these vigilante groups, local vigilante groups, hunters.
Yes.
When I was going into the state, even just for Salah, because I went to mark my Salah there will be checkpoints that were manned by these hunters. These hunters know the entire environment. They control and patrol those environments. Whenever they notice any movement that is suspicious, they raise an alarm, they move in. Even the police were telling me that sometimes they could be manning a certain length of road, and then they get a call that says withdraw, and they have to withdraw because it has come from above. Nobody is instructing these people because the only instructions are coming from the state, and the state has said, man this road.
All right, I have to go on a break but I wanted you to touch a bit on the fact that your brother has also shown intention to be president.
Yes.
Have you had a conversation with him that you're going left, he's going right? Like, you're not supporting him?
Was he really? I think he joined the party. What I read was that he said he had joined the party. He didn't say he wanted to be
president.
Well, he said he has declared intention to run for the office of the president. I think he did mention
No,
that.
sweetheart. He said exactly what he's doing his consultations.
Okay.
So if he does become, if he does indeed pick a candidate, declare his intention to actually run or actually pick a ticket from the state, or from his party, what would you do?
I'm Director General. Let me repeat. I'm the first female Director General of the presidential campaign of a leading candidate. I will resume office and continue my job, and I will look to deliver a win for my candidate.
Hey, all right, let me go on a break. Come back, we'll wrap up this conversation. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
At TVC Communications, we're all about our audience. Millions of viewers, listeners, and readers every day all around Nigeria.
Our 2 TV stations are among the most watched in Nigeria.
TVC News is our award-winning 24-hour national and international news channel headquartered here in Lagos, broadcasting live from our custom-built state-of-the-art news headquarters.
TVC, the top-rated family entertainment channel, is the place for fun, music, and information. With our breakfast show, Wake Up Nigeria, the all-female chat show, Your View, the best soaps and dramas from Nolly, Bali, and Hollywood, music and entertainment blast, courtesy Eastflash, and of course, award-winning news and current affairs. It is all here.
With news bureau and studios around the country and the ability to go live anywhere, anytime, we are first for breaking news in Nigeria. Awarded the NMMA TV Station of the Year, TVC News is the station of choice for news that is first, accurate, balanced, and reliable every time. TVC and TVC News watched by over 4.5 million people in Nigeria every day on terrestrial, DTH, DTT, OTT, and available to viewers in the UK on Sky TV. Watch all of our world-class programs on TV, online, and on our app. TVC and TVC News, the best entertainment and news for Nigeria on TV and online.
And when you can't watch us, listen to us. 102.3 Max FM Lagos and 90.9 Max FM Abuja are now ranked among the most listened to radio stations in Nigeria.
Now, with over 1.5 million listeners every day, we're the people's favorite radio station. Best hit music, best on-air talent. Max 102.3 hit music for Lagos and Max 90.9 hit music for Abuja. We are your home for that fun, entertainment, and hit music.
In Lagos, TVC, our leading family entertainment TV channel, has a 47% market share. But this is just the start of our journey, as we plan to add even more services to entertain and inform our ever-growing audience. Thanks for being part of the TVC communications story.
It doesn't occur at shows in the canvas. It shows the conation of raw earthen material slabbed, stroked, and molded at a pace provided by the doubt and fear. Every move way in the struggle of one to the other, merging the past to the present, brushstrokes of colors seen but not known. For when the wailing stops, the pieces settle down in abject beauty erected for a century of a century. Speaking, advocating, protesting, as the arts are meant to be.
Come, I have exciting news for you. You asked for it and you got it. Your favorite breakfast show, Your View, will be going to 2 hours. We're going to have in-depth analysis of the newspaper review and more conversations on the hot topics. The ladies of Your View and I will be stirring up our guests to get an in-depth into all the various topics, and you, our viewers, will have the opportunity to call in and share your views. After all, it's your view. Join us on Your View, 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. for a fantastic conversation. Don't miss it.
kádàrá aláwọ̀ àkàkàjù. àwọn kan wà tí wọ́n bá kú tọ́jọ́ ọkú wọn ò tí ì pé wọ́n á papòdà síbòmíì.
Is that how you gonna say it?
ọkọ tí wàá sọ nìyẹn.
bó ṣe wá kọ̀wé ránṣẹ́ yìí pé òun fẹ́ rí mi kájọ fojúkojú yìí kò yé èmi o.
bó ṣe pé ẹ̀rí ẹ̀mí lẹ́kùnmọ́ àyà mi ti sọ kí.
torí kí ni.
àkọ́yẹ́ kó mọ píjẹ́rẹ́ ẹ̀mí lẹ́kùnmọ́ yọ ọmọ mú yẹn rí flashback jọ́ ìkéyọ̀ ọmọ tó mọ ẹgbọ́n mọ́.
thanks for staying with us. So we're going to be going to social media to pick a few questions. But while the ladies are picking out a question, one of my greatest fears, if anybody but the Southeastern president becomes president, including your own principal, is the fact that it might spur up more of resistance from the Southeast. So it's not going to be an easy governance because they're obviously going to be upset that they didn't get that chance. So I'm so fearful if a non-Southeasterner becomes president, how would they be able to govern this country without that region getting more to ensure that he's able to carry everybody along, even though they might be unhappy? How would he carry the entire country along in this new government if he becomes president?
He's already shown that he's highly skilled at unifying people. He's done this in Kogi State, where there were 3 highly polarized ethnic groups, that he forged unity among them with his careful appointments to make sure that everyone felt included and well represented. He would do the same as president of Nigeria. He also, just about 2 days ago in Imo State in Owerri, Ralph Uwazurike led a march for the movement, MASOB, I think Movement for the Sovereign State of Biafra. He led a movement to say that his candidate was Governor Yaya Bello. So even in the East, we've seen that MASOB is endorsing him, but it's not just MASOB. The women of the Southeast had a march a few weeks ago endorsing him. He has support in the Southeast. He has support in the Southwest. He has support in the South-South. He has support all over Nigeria.
If he has support, can
and
he
we are
go
going.
there?
We are going there. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to say that from next week, His Excellency will begin a series of zonal visits that will be nationwide.
Okay, let's take a few comments.
Sure.
You don't have anything? Nima, you have a good anyone?
One way the Honorable says, please tell your guests, or let your guests be reminded that in almost 8 years of Governor Bello of Kogi, he didn't create job, no key development in the state. How can he lead Nigeria on this precarious state? We need a tried and tested man who understands Nigeria. Okay, please. I wanted to build on this question when you talked about the IGR. Kogi, for me, is a very is a civil servant state. Okay. When you talk about people paying salaries and all of that. And that being a civil servant state doesn't mean you're self-sustainable. You're always going to be taking from the federal to pay the states if you don't have private jobs and companies growing. How many private investors were they able to bring in?
Significantly, His Excellency is pro-business in the state. Confluence Rice and other investments that he has been making in the rice value chain. He understands that one of the big assets of the state is agriculture, but he doesn't want us to just be restricted to farming, but to look also at the value addition in farming. So significant resources in the state have been directed in that regard. There's also the investment agency of the state to help potential investors to go through all the processes so that everything is made easy for them. The truth about economics is that, a lot depends also on federal. The national framework also helps the states to be able to know which way to go and seize opportunities. And Kogi State has indicated to the federal government their desire for the restoration and completion of Ajaokuta Steel Mill. Ajaokuta Steel Mill, if completed, would generate 50,000 jobs and would be so instrumental for Nigeria. But it's not something that Kogi State alone can do.
That is not consoling for me, because when you talk about Ajaokuta, it's almost like, let's just forget about it. Yeah. I would love to hear, that more companies, foreign investors have been able to come into Kogi and created investment around Kogi. Kogi is a state where if you have a quarry, you have, cement production and several other, it's a very rich resources state. Yes. So I would love to hear that, this and this and this is, because of all these companies that have come in, the IGR then was able to grow.
It's exactly that he has been able to build. He set up a business council made up of some of the most successful businessmen in Nigeria, not just in Kogi State, but they're from Kogi State. And those people have been guiding the government on policies and practices that would encourage business investment. And it has been working. It's why the state's IGR grew to almost 2 billion before the pandemic, and is now well over 1 billion.
Someone is asking, how long have you known him? Because you're defending him like you've known him. How long have you known him, and how long have you investigated him for? You're defending him so righteously?
Yes, I've known him for a little over a year. The first time that it came into my awareness was through my baby brother, Abdul Mumuni, who is my baby brother, but he's in his 30s. Abdul Mumuni went to see him and came to me and said that this candidate, this person is very important and very special. But at the time when Abdul Mumuni said that, I was turned off because I'd been groomed on a steady diet of poisonous information about this candidate. So because I raised Abdul Mumuni from when he was 9 years old, when my mom died. So, I know that Abdul Mumuni knows what I would respect. So I thought to look deeper. And from that moment, I started conducting my investigations.
I have to wrap up with you right now. If this doesn't work, what's next for you? What's your plan B? If he doesn't get the ticket, what happens?
You will get the ticket.
There's always a plan B now, the other side of the coin. Just in case it doesn't, what happens?
There is no need for a plan B. This is a moment that God is directing, and we will get to the finish line and we will have the ticket. Okay. And Nigeria will have its chance to really say farewell to poverty.
All righty.
There are a lot of negative
comments.
Online.
You have a very tough job because time. I would love to read some of the comments for you.
That's all we can take on the show at this time. Thank you very much. We'll be speaking with of his campaign team. Thank you so much, Dr. Hafsat Abiola Costello, for joining us this morning. It was a pleasure having you.
Thank you for listening.
Let's go on a quick break. When we come back, we're bringing our next guest. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
I moved from the United States to Nigeria about a year ago. It's been a very good experience living in this community. We've been in the United States for 26 years. We started in 2019 and we were able to finish the building in 2020. And we moved in 2021. And since we've been here, it's been a marvelous experience. The road that leads into the estate, marvelous. You have peace of mind. They have the stadium. They even have payment method that is so easy and convenient. You do not have any fear whatsoever. Adrian Arms is a perfect place for you to be.
That is taking the incredible, affordable.
See? The eyes they chew. They're looking for it. The world wants it. And here you are, the one that has it. Running around with them, searching for it. You see, it is not what makes you extra special. Nah, it is what makes you different. Your wit, your grit, your weird laughter, your taste, your ideas, your fire, your high key, off key, or no key, your streets, your smarts, your zig when everyone else zags. Ooh, yeah.
Come closer. A little bit more. Perfect. I have exciting news for you. You asked for it and you got it. Your favorite breakfast show, Your View, will be going to 2 hours. We're going to have in-depth analysis of the newspaper review and more conversations on the hot topics. The ladies of Your View and I will be stirring up our guests to get an in-depth into all the various topics, and you, our viewers, will have the opportunity to call in and share your views. After all, it's your view. Join us on Your View, 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. for a fantastic conversation. Don't miss it. Come closer. A little bit more. Perfect. I have exciting news for you. You asked for it and you got it. Your favorite breakfast show, Your View, will be going to 2 hours. We're going to have in-depth analysis of the newspaper review and more conversations on the hot topics.
the ladies of Your View and I will be stirring up our guests to get an in-depth into all the various topics, and you, our viewers, will have the opportunity to call in and share your views. After all, it's your view. Join us on Your View, 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. for a fantastic conversation. Don't miss it. Come closer. A little bit more. Perfect. I have exciting news for you. You asked for it and you got it. Your
How we're doing, guys? Is the makeup in progress? Makeup check. Are the scripts on the prompter? Script check. Are we set in the VCR? All team in place? VCR check. Clock is ticking, time is racing, lights are. Plans all set. 120 minutes of hot entertainment. We are ready for the mission. How we're doing, guys? Is the makeup in progress? Makeup check.
Doubt and fear doesn't occur at the canvas, it shows in the canvas. It shows the conation of raw earthen material slabbed, stroked and molded at a pace provided by the doubt and fear. Every move weigh in the struggle of one to the other, merging the past to the present, brushstrokes of colors seen but not known. For when the wailing stops, the pieces settle down in abject beauty erected for a century of a century. Speaking, advocating, protesting as the arts are meant to be. Doubt and fear doesn't occur at
kádàrá aláwọ̀ àkàkàjù. àwọn kan wà tí wọ́n bá kú tọ́jọ́ ọkú wọn ò tí ì pé wọ́n á papòdà síbòmíì.
Is that how you're gonna say it?
ọkọ tí wàá sọ yìí.
bó ṣe wá kọ̀wé ránṣẹ́ yìí pé òun fẹ́ rí mi kájọ fojúkojú yìí kò yé èmi o.
bó ṣe pé ẹ̀rí ẹ̀mí lẹ́kùnmọ́ àyà mi ti sọ kí.
torí kí ni.
àkọ́yẹ́ kó wọn fi jẹ́rẹ̀ ẹ̀mí lẹ́kùnmọ́ yọmọ mú yẹn rí flashback jọ́ ìkéyọ̀ mọ́tò mọ́ ẹgbọ́n mọ́.
Come closer. A little bit more. Perfect. I have exciting news for you. You asked for it and you got it. Your favorite breakfast show, Your View, will be going to 2 hours. We're going to have in-depth analysis of the newspaper review and more conversations on the hot topics. The ladies of Your View and I will be stirring up our guests to get an in-depth into all the various topics, and you, our viewers, will have the opportunity to call in and share your views. After all, it's your view. Join us on Your View, 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. for a fantastic
Thanks for staying with us. As we mentioned previously, the ladies and I are really deliberate in trying to help young female aspirants in this coming 2023 elections, give them our platform to tell us about their ambition and what they want to do. So today, joining us on the show is another female presidential aspirant. I think the only one so far that has been cleared. The female presidential aspirant cleared under the PDP party. She'll be explaining to us why she wants to be president to succeed the current president, Muhammadu Buhari, come 2023. And talk to us also about her chances of becoming the flag bearer of PDP. Welcome with us, Tari Oba Oliver, to the show.
Good morning, and thank you for having me.
Good to have you.
Thank you, ladies. I'm so happy to be here with you guys.
Yeah, we love that you're excited and interested in running for presidency. One of our first questions when we have women like you running is why? Yes. Why are you running? Why do you think you should run? And do you think you have a chance to win?
Okay, yeah. Thank you for that question, and I've been asked over time. The why is the fact that I want to rescue Nigeria. I'm on a mission. On my status, I'm the woman on a mission. And this is because there's been a lot of things happening in this country that I am not comfortable with, right? I see Nigeria as a very wonderful place, as one of the best countries on earth, as one of the most blessed nations. But in the midst of this, I see a lot of disabilities, a lot of things not working. The people are in abject poverty. And in this case, it's even worse with the woman. I run a foundation. My foundation is into maternal health and the girl-child education. And every single time I get called from states all over the country, like a woman has been kidnapped, someone is being kidnapped, she's been raped, she's been sexually abused. And I just fear for the Nigerian woman because I feel it's going to get to a point where even right now it's happening in some places in the north that they will just come to your husband's house and take you away. So if the men are not going to defend us, I think we, the women, we are capable. There are mothers that have done it in the past. And I believe that right now we should stand up for it. And it's not just only about advocacy. You should come out and get elected. My vision is the United States of Nigeria. And the agenda I set out to achieve this vision is the set agenda. It is called security, electricity, and technology in that order. Because I believe that security is the foundation of a nation. It is entrenched in the Nigerian Constitution, Chapter 2 says the primary responsibility of government is to protect lives and properties. And if the lives are not protected, how do you talk about economy? How do you talk about other sectors? And we are talking about our economy is declining. We all know that the only way to have a thriving economy is to balance your import and your export. Now, if you don't have electricity, what can you actually do? You can't produce anything. You cannot create jobs. You can't attract investors. So I believe that when given an opportunity, I'm going to go out there and set up this agenda in this order: security, electricity, and technology. When you give me more time, I'm going to go into details. Thank you.
Okay, fantastic. Okay. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Okay. Because you've raised two key issues that are burning me in my heart. No. That's why, I sort of raised an applause when you said them. Security, because, this government really didn't do so bad. But because they failed in that area, everything they achieved, like water in a basket. So let's talk about security. For instance, this morning in the papers, we talked about what the bandits are asking for, financiers and, supporters release. If you are in government now, how would you deal with that situation? Also, electricity that you raised, there's a disabling clause when the discos were, when they reached that agreement with the past president, Goodluck Jonathan. And that clause is why this government is saying we cannot just disable, take over all the discos. We need to continue to manage them. What would you do, if these problems persist and you need to take out the discos? What would you do exactly?
Okay, so let me start from electricity. Let me start from security. Now, we are running a system of security that has never worked, that will not work, and even in the future, it will not, no matter how. So I am saying that it doesn't matter if people don't like me or not, or you think I'm too young, but take what I'm saying. Security has moved beyond equipment into human security. What that means is that your most valuable asset in security right now are the human beings. Now, we know we are a country of over 200 ethnic groups. What sense does it make for you to take someone from Calabar, because you trained him for 6 months, you deploy him to Zamfara to provide security? He does not understand the language. He does not understand the terrain. He doesn't look like the people. He becomes a soft target. And when you are trying to fight security, information is key. We have seen over time where some communities hide criminals because they feel closer to the criminals than the people that are coming to protect them. Now, why don't you take people from a particular community, train them, and deploy them back to that community? What is wrong with that?
So you're talking of community policing?
Community policing and the state policing. When we talk about community policing and state policing, some people say, oh, the governors are going to use them against the federal government. Okay, I'm asking, the federal government not using the security against the governors? Secondly, even if you have the fear, why don't you do that process and deploy technology, have your data, and still pay them yourself? Because once the payment still comes from the same source, then that issue is sorted out. And when it comes to highway security, for instance, let's take Lagos to Benin. You have 4 states in between. The road has been bad even before I was born. It is still bad.
They said they have done the road.
It is bad. And
so that is, we are getting wrong information.
They will tell you they are doing the road. Whether some people are doing it at night, we don't know. But you shall we see that the road is bad. Now, because the people are not involved in the process. So somebody may, because you want to sell pure water or you want to sell bottled water, you can go and dig the road at night because there's no security. Then we also have checkpoints over 25 in between that journey. People are being asked to pay. So to travel by road from Lagos to Benin is a very terrible experience. And sometimes it also causes a lot of traffic, 4 to 5 hours traffic. There was a day I got to that point, I had to turn back to Lagos. I couldn't continue the journey some time ago. So what am I saying? The 4 states governors can come together, have a partner that can come in and give us the good roads, toll that road. From the money you make from the toll, deploy highway security, special highway security. It doesn't matter if they are from the 4 states. At the same time, the land mass on that express can be used for agriculture. And because we are having the farmers and herders crisis, you can decide that 70% of that land goes to farmers, 30% of that land goes to the herders.
Let me throw in a few more questions.
Yes. I enjoy listening to you. Concerning, I know security is very important. I'm happy that, Nima started with that. But there's a part of, there's something that bothers me even more, and that is education. You know the numbers of out-of-school children.
Over 30 million.
Good. And it seems like the government is struggling, the Nigerian government is really struggling in how to bring children into schools. And also the ASU federal government crisis almost every year. Now we have them out of school for, I think, the longest time ever. What would you do differently?
We are going to deploy technology. You cannot carry out 21st century education without tech right now. We don't even have enough schools. We don't have enough primary schools. We don't have enough secondary schools. We don't have enough universities. And the issue of ASU has been on even when I was a very young girl. My elder brothers, they were at home for ASU strike. So what it means is that we have not gotten a model that will work. We should not be having budgets for ASU, a yearly budget. I think it's even the wrong plan. We should have a 10-year plan, of which, if anything is going to come up at the end of the 10th year, we should have started sorting that out from the 8th year. So we are going to look into it with a different model, not what is currently existing. And if money has to just come in separately outside of the budget on the special emergency for education, that is what we need to do. Because we understand that a country cannot thrive without 100% education. Citizens right now, over 60 million citizens cannot read and write. So what it means is that you have to look at adult education. Even when it comes to education at all the zones and states, there has to be different model. The eastern states, for instance, we run the apprenticeship model, of which young people go into to learn skills.
Entrepreneurship.
Exactly. We need to be able to deploy education at that point. So even if it's 2 or 3 hours a day, even though they are learning entrepreneurship, they should be able to get educated within the market premises. And once you sort out the issue of electricity, that means the generators are not making noises. They can actually have a mini kind of classroom.
Let's talk politics for a minute, because I know your parents are from Niger Delta. You were born in Ibejileki, Lagos State. You ran for House of Assembly. which you lost. You ran for gubernatorial in Bayelsa State, which you also lost. Now you're running for presidency. And what has changed within the political space? How are you going to get the ticket for president? Because I know right now the issue with PDP is that, do we open the ballots or do we have the zoning? Do we have an open ticket where we decide let the delegates select? How much of politics have you done that's different from what you did in the past that would earn you the ticket this time around?
Okay, so over the years, I've worked on my flaws, I've worked on the loose areas, and I also believe that getting the presidency is a solution of the entire problem, why I did not get the others. Because if we have a structure that is working and Nigerians are economically viable, Nigerians are comfortable, nobody's going to ask you for money to vote. They're going to know that this is their constitutional right and it is their duty to vote in good leaders and not people that will give them money. So I believe that...
What makes you a good leader?
Well, I believe it's about the policy. A policy that is going to work for all Nigerians and not just... I'm contesting from Imo State. My husband is Igbo. I've been married for 16 years. I could as well come up and say, oh, it should be zoned to the east, right? But that's not the solution of this country's problem right now. Also, those that are talking about zoning, you cannot blame them because everything is centered in Abuja. So it seems that your lifeline is connected directly to Abuja. But by the time we decentralize, your education has no business with Abuja, your livelihood has no business with Abuja. Everything you know is your local government chairman. So your focus will change.
How about the structure?
Yes.
Structure.
Yes. So, the only solution to this country's problem is to decentralize government. So that way, we will go for competence, we will go for character, we will go for consistency, and we will not be looking at zoning. I am here to solve that problem.
You sound very impressive. I like your confidence. I like everything about you. The question I need to ask you now, apart from the people that have the power inside your party, are the big, with the big cash, apart from that one, let us assume you don't win the primaries. Are you willing to work with one of those
big names,
big wigs? I don't want to cast any aspersions on any of their characters.
Yes.
But I have very little confidence in a lot of them. Are you willing to work with any of them to implement these ideas that you have?
These policies, this idea I have, even if this present government steal it, it will work. And that's why I'm throwing it out open. It's going to work. Decentralization is the only thing that can solve our problem. Decentralization is the only thing that can make the man on the street that does not know anybody in Abuja succeed economically, and government is able to earn tax from that person. So I am not in any way, I don't have that kind of mindset that if I do not get the ticket, I'm going to leave the party. I've been in the party for 19 years. And of course, you know, by the time I get the ticket, I need others to support me. I can't do it on my own. It's never been done like that. So if and when that's what I'm saying, that the party has a responsibility, like they've always done, to ensure free and fair elections. That's why I'm not interested in.
All right, Tari, let me throw this in to add to what YK said, because we've done this for many years. I mean, we've been through a major election, and we've seen people come out like you, knowing that they might not win, quotes, say no, and just trying to make enough noise so they know I'm here, so that when you start sharing the goodies, you know that I have spent money, and you can share some to my side. That's what we have seen. Is that what we're seeing here? Because you clearly sure that you have the numbers to get the ticket?
In the business of politics, it is 100% confidence. That is what it is, nothing less. Because if you are not confident, you will not even push much. You know, my colleagues, my senior colleagues, I call them, from the same constituency. I'm representing the women, the youths, children, people with disability. That's my primary constituency. They've been going about for the issue of zoning. And I said, it's fine. Consensus is okay. But when you guys come up with your consensus, I'm going to contest with whoever you guys are bringing. And that's it for me. Nothing less than that.
You're not conceding anything.
Nothing.
Yes.
What do you feel about the people in your party, the big wigs now, who jump like grasshopper from party to party? But you say you've been there for 19 years.
19 years.
But I know that in the two leading parties, APC and PDP, the politicians keep jumping.
Yes,
like grasshopper. From party to, what do you feel about those ones in your party that have jumped ship and come back?
Well, for me, I always say, when people say the party has given concession to women in terms of the fund, I say because the party has seen that women are very consistent. The party has seen over the years that women, when women are standing with you, they are just there. And that's what it is. At the grassroots level, at all levels, we have done the work, we are working, and it's time for us to take leadership. So I am saying that whoever wants to jump, you can jump. But at this point, I think it's the time for the party to look into gender zoning. Yes.
Okay.
And zone according to gender.
So the next question will be our debt profile. That we're constantly and continuously, piling up debt. What is your plan?
It's not a spiritual problem that it's not, because other countries fund their budget with about 50 to 55% from taxes. In the Nigerian case, it's less than 5%. Who is paying tax? Over 65% of Nigerians are in the formal sector. They don't know government. Government does not know them. When people are providing electricity for themselves, doing stuff for themselves, you want to come and tax them? Or you are not even providing basic security. And if you cannot attract investors, you will borrow. That is what it is. Because nobody is interested in coming to invest. And you need money for projects. If you are saying that you're borrowing to fix a road, what is there in bringing in partners to fix the road, and they tow the road, and everybody's in partnership? But because those people know that they cannot come into your country, there's insecurity.
There's an aversion Nigerians have towards tolling roads. So when presently the Badagry Expressway is being constructed, and I just noticed that, the diversion into Festac through 3rd Avenue, they're building tolls there. Even me, when I paused there, I took pictures and I smiled that, may this see the light of day, because I know Nigerians will fight. The toll being built at the Alafia area, really, they're already demolishing it before they even started tolling it. So what exactly would you do to convince Nigerians to pay back?
For the highways, I'm not so particular about towing internally, because there's really no need for that. There are other ways that you can ensure that you get money. But for the highways, we need to, because over the years, government has proven that you have to travel by road, but keep your money for ransom by the side. So if you look at the money for ransom and you look at 100 naira for toll gate, of which people are even paying more, because by the time you have several checkpoints, you can ask people traveling. It is frustrating. Sometimes you have to keep like 10K, 5K aside just for those checkpoints. And nobody is going to charge you up to maybe 100, 200, maximum 500 for a toll. So if they look at the value as against what they're experiencing now, because the reality is that we don't have the money, so what do? We don't have
How much of Nigeria do you know, Tari? Because sometimes you think many of us from the South, we're so guilty of it. We look at Nigeria from our own small map here. But Nigeria is huge. There's northeast, there's northwest, central, and all that. How much of Nigeria do you know, and how much of it, how do you think you'll be acceptable into certain regions?
When I tell people that I'm a symbol of Nigeria, my maternal grandmom, she's from Oyo. My paternal grandmom she's from Tiv, Benue State. And I started doing business at a very early age. I was going to Kano, I was going to Jos, until they started cutting people's hands with gold. That was when we stopped that business. But that was in Nigeria that I experienced that you can actually just travel from Benin, get to Kano, book a hotel, stay, nobody is harassing you, you buy your goods, you come back, same thing, Jos, and all these other northern places. So I'm just asking myself, what happened? Where have we gone wrong? So we need to be able to get to a point where we understand that the average man on the road is not your problem. The problem is the structure. If you do not have a structure that can work for everybody, then you're not going to get anywhere. That is why we have Nigerians that can go to America, stay a year or two, and start feeding the indigents in that village. With all your full indigenship, you cannot feed yourself. Your land is of no value. Because we have a crude mindset of somebody moves from one state to the other, the person becomes a non-indigent within the same country. So why don't we run a state policy that every citizen will be a resident of that state and the governor will take charge? And because somebody needs to be held accountable. Right now, there's no accountability at all levels.
So how do we balance it with history? Because when you talk about indigenship, history comes in. People who's been there, who did everything, who own the land. Presently in Lagos, you see this clash between the real Lagosians and wondering what is happening in our state. When they see a lot of strangers coming, claiming, and they cannot I don't see any southerner going to the east, the southeast particularly. I'm saying it with all sense of responsibility and boasting about owning a property or a business there and thriving. But they are thriving everywhere in the country. So there's a cultural and mentality that has to be.
It's a very long process. Because I tell people, I was having this conversation yesterday, why people are holding and say, this is not my thing. this is for the people of the state, is because there's scarcity, right? But if there are lots of jobs and you're looking for people to fill in, are you going to bother where somebody comes from? So it is the duty of government to be proactive, to ensure that there's security, there's 24 hours electricity by decentralizing, so that there cannot be opportunities for jobs to be created. When there are so many jobs created, do you really care? People get married across boards. Do they care where the people come from?
What do you think is responsible for the moral decadence in our society?
Well, if I tell you that I have 100% answer to that question, then I'll be lying. Because when we're growing up, my elder brother, they went to, himself and his friends, they went out during school hours and they got arrested. And they put them at the back of the counter. They called my dad. When my dad got there, he said, I know him with his long legs. He's going to run. Put him in the cell. The police officer started begging. So this is a father saying, put my son in the cell. You know, but I don't understand what's happening now. Parenting, if it is corruption, you can still trace it back to corruption, because if the government schools were working, then you are not going to stop anybody from disciplining your child, right? But
is discipline really the issue?
No, lack of discipline, that's what I'm saying.
Is it really the issue?
It starts from the foundation, because it is from the childhood people grow to become certain kind of adults that I don't know the kind of adults we have now.
Let me get a few more questions.
So there are a few issues that we have. You know, we have the main issue: security, electricity, debt profile. But then we have some inner issues that, you know, boil over sometimes. You remember when the youth came together and were demanding better treatment from our police? You know, this is the police force is meant to protect us, but a lot of people will tell you some extrajudicial things that they will say was meted out to them from that, from the police, the military. So what has happened is that we have a group of young people that do not even trust government, whoever is in government.
Yes.
How are we going to marry this new, you know, your government with youth that have a distrust for government?
So you have to go back to the foundation of why is something happening. If you take somebody from, like I always say, Akwa Ibom, and take to Kanu, nobody knows the person in that community where he's serving. There's no accountability. Now, you do not have data to track. So this person can just wake up one morning and say, I'm going to shoot you, nothing's going to happen. But if that person was to serve in their community, where the father is, where the mother is, where the family members are, will that person ever think about waking up to say, I'm going to shoot you and nothing's going to happen? So until you have data, it is only data, it's only technology that can enable an effective policing, the type of policing we are having now. But since we do not yet have data, can you deploy community policing so that everybody has a face? What's important is a face, so that nobody can just wake up. And again, you're taking somebody across boards, the money, the salary is very small, then there's tendency for the person to travel back to see the family or try to bring the family down, and the money you are paying is not even enough to cater for that. Like you're talking about corruption.
In what way would you involve the youth to now be part of this? I'm not talking of just the police, the youth that are already distrustful of government. They don't think they understand them. How are you going to
I am telling the youths that, you know what, give me my own benefit of doubt. I am not someone else. I'm Tyree Oliver. This is my name. This is what I'm saying. We can have the conversation. You cannot say you have given up. Even if you have given up, other people will still engage the process anyway. So it's better for you to engage. Do not give up. Continue trying. At the time I started PDP, I joined the party 19 years ago, and I was telling my friends, if everybody had joined at that time, you know the population of young people about my age that would be the decision makers now. So it's never too late. Whenever you wake up, they say it's your morning.
We'll take a few questions from social media for you. Well, but while they're looking for that, I think YK asked a question earlier, which I'd like to rephrase in a different way. Because I read in the papers today that everybody, all the key presidential aspirants are in Abuja. They are lobbyists, having sleepless nights all night, trying to, in fact, they are wooing the governors to sway delegates to them. So then what is sleeping? Who is bankrolling you, and how you look very confident and almost sure they're getting this thing. Some people are having sleepless nights in Abuja. How are you trying to ensure that you get your delegates to vote for you? What are you doing so far political-wise?
Yeah, as a young person, you cannot go with the same model the older people are going with. You're going to fail even before you begin, because you don't even have as much resources as they have. So you must think outside the box. You must think about other ways of reaching the delegates, and that is what I'm doing, and I'm not telling anyone my tricks. Yes, because the delegates are masses like me. You and I, they have been victims. Their family members have been victims. Now, aspirants are going to them like they matter, right? But you know that the last time anybody called you was 4 years ago. And probably the next time anybody is going to call you is another 4 years. So what it means is that you have to take the decision, not for yourself alone, but for your children and your children unborn. Anybody that is refusing to decentralize is not even beginning to solve the country's problem in the first place. So, and I'm scared, I'm very worried that a lot of people might not want to do that. So I'm someone that I do not want anybody to call me big names. I just want everybody to be comfortable. I just want things to be right. Because our biggest asset is our ethnicity. Our biggest asset is our diversity. Our biggest asset is the culture, is the people. It's not even oil. So I'm telling the older guys, you know what? If you guys so much want this oil, we give it to you. Just leave us. Take the oil, give us tech, and we are good to go.
So on social media, there's
technology.
Let's take him on social media.
So on social media, the thing is, they believe you have good ideas, but they don't think, given the current structure of how politics is done in our country, that you may have a chance.
That is why they have to come and support me. Belief is free. Faith is free. Hope is free. You're not going to pay any money for that. We have young people right now that rather influence for people that can pay them than influence for you. You guys right now, you can see the good job you are doing. The media has been one of my biggest source of inspiration, support. You guys are the fourth estate of the web, and you guys are doing your job so well. So if everybody can be like the media that give the citizens an alternative view and everybody to be visible, I'm sure that the support system is going to just be there. It's not just about me alone. It's our projects. It's us.
There are many positive comments here. Prince Justice Igita says, I see Tari Oba as a visionary leader. Olusegun Olajide, Tari to me has fantastic ideas and I wish her well. And then, but Oladidi is asking, the question is, who is bankrolling you?
God the Father, God the Son, God the Holy Spirit.
How much is the PDP presidential fund again?
For the women, it's less than 10 million. And I've been, over the years, I've impacted lives. So the market women came together and were able to support me, and we purchased.
So you have your ticket already?
Yeah, done, submitted, everything.
Oh, fantastic. So you're confirmed.
Yes, screen cleared, confirmed.
BST Digital says it's easier said than done. God plans through. Good plans from you do. So
you know, Nigeria might not be as complicated as we think. You know, it could be just somebody's simple idea that just looks like so trivial sometimes. You think that can actually solve our problems, you know. But there was something I wanted to go back to. You said we need policies, and I can almost argue that we have policies.
Yes.
It's plenty.
Yes.
The people
yes.
obeying
the implementation.
It's implementation.
Yes.
Enforcement.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
Enforcement.
Yes, it's implementation, is to enforce, is to monitor. That's why I'm saying that you cannot do anything and succeed without getting the people involved. Let's take, for instance, there's a contract for Ngopala to build the road or to maintain the road. And the contract, in the process of bidding, people from that community bidded, and everybody saw that, okay, let's have the names of the companies up.
Yes.
And they go back and check the back end and see that, oh, there are some corrupt people as board members. No, we don't want this. Then they finally select one. Then the government says we are disposing 70% of the money. And the entire citizens know. They will monitor it. You don't even need, they will be the ones to monitor, because that person knows that if he doesn't do that job, the entire community will come for him. But when you have a system where people bid for contracts spiritually, they execute it spiritually, nobody is held accountable. That's the problem we have.
Nobody is held accountable spiritually.
But you know, many people will tell you that the government that we have today is a reflection of the sort of people that we have. So the corruption up there is the corruption within our communities.
Yes.
So these are people that you're saying will monitor these projects done and make sure that it's done without corruption?
Look, let me tell you, the only reason why people protect corrupt people is because of the ethnic bias. You see, somebody tells you that my problem is the man in the north, my problem is the man in the south. But when you know your problem is close by, they will wake up.
Let's trickle it down to the final, you know, the grassroots. That's the local government. And recently, my business place had someone from local government come, rather than say that, where are your paperwork, or these are the paperwork that you're required to have, just came in like a nomonile and carried my machines and left.
Yes.
And he was going to go to the local government. That's, I would have arrested him as stealing. But that local government is backing him as doing his job. How do you clean up a Nigerian?
It is
That's
not
a big question.
That is why, if you noticed, that's why I said I'm going to go in the order of security, electricity, and technology. Right? You notice that when officers started noticing that people can record them and send, they became well behaved. These are issues that citizens are going to engage, name and shame. So when that kind of thing is happening and there's camera to record and all of that, then it comes to the fore. People now understand that there's a minimum level of behavior that is expected. So it's the entire Nigerian system that will be overhauled, but it's a lie to believe that you can do it overnight. You have to start from somewhere. And
well, let me be sure I get you. I think something is ministering to my spirit. Okay. Because when you said the set, so imagine we apply SET, that's your security, electricity, and jobs. Apply it to healthcare.
Yes.
Apply it to education.
Yes.
Apply it to all this.
Agriculture.
Interestingly, it might work. You secure the hospitals, give them electricity, and then apply technology.
Yes.
Hey.
Everywhere. Technology is going to drive the entire sector. Every other sector is tech-driven. Right now, you can actually sit in Nigeria and work remotely in US. Yes. We all know that. So we just need to be able to move in. The era of oil has gone. We lost it, but now we should not lose tech.
Madam, let's not forget. Let's not forget. Remember those Kano votes? It was 4 million that just showed up from one place. You know, these are things you have to contend with. Was it 4 million that showed up from somewhere in Kano?
Here that are saying you have not held political office before. So why don't you go for either Senate or governor before you think of running a big country like Nigeria?
That is the problem when we become career politicians. When you get into the career politician angle or the business of being a politician, you wake up, you see people pregnant in your house, you have to pay hospital bill, you have to pay rent, you have to marry wives for people, you have to attend dedication. You become so involved and indebted in the system that you are just looking for a way to get back. And it's not a spiritual problem that we are here. Most of the politicians you see, they are indebted. It's a circle of garbage in, garbage out. So if you say, why didn't I start from where? I would not be able to make any change if I started from there.
Because you are inheriting
responsibilities already. And Nigerians have to stand up and defend their land. You have to contribute. The period of election is not a period where you start building houses. Some people, they build their houses for 4 years. The first 4 years when they collect election money, they lay foundation. The next day, they take it to knitting. The other 4 years, they roof. And your children are suffering. This is the money that was supposed to go for healthcare, education, all the sectors that you are eating. We should stop eating up our destinies.
Right, we gotta go. Tari Oliver, Madam President.
Yes.
We wish you the best.
I would love to be able to say that someday, Madam President.
We're going to give our platform to women running in all sectors. Let us know. You can reach us on our Facebook page and our Instagram pages. We want to give this platform because after the National Assembly did us, that bad thing they did us, that 5 bills that they threw out, we said, no, we must give this platform to women. So we are happy that we're able to share this platform with you this morning. Why can't you want to say something?
I just want to say that if she doesn't win, I pray you win the presidential ticket at least. If you don't win, they must use you as the debates. You are the one that will throw questions to all those people who decide that they are party. You are the one that will
That's
throw.
All we can take, Waike. We have to. Thank you so much. We wish you the best. That's all we can take. It's getting more and more interesting, guys. I like it. I'm loving it. Yeah, the energy. We've gotten so many fantastic women so far. That's all we can take on the show today. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye for now.
The following is a paid presentation by ShopX TV.
Happy holidays! That time of the year, and ShopX TV is proud to celebrate this occasion by giving away 25% of selected products, saving thousands for all our customers. Look, our NutriBullet 600-watt nutrient extractor normally